get back under here, lift this bad boy up. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a moment. So, you can see the back of the wheel is just been rubbing, you know, a little bit. Actually created a groove in it all the way around, so that's probably not great. Sweet, but still good. See exactly where it is, where it's been just grinding away at the wheel. Crazy, just crazy. But looks like the zip ties did their thing to at least get me home. And it didn't rip anything else, which is I'm very thankful for. Mainly my brake line, which is always a concern. So, but we're looking like we're okay there. Normal stuff. It's just wreaking havoc in here. This thing is completely. Oh, this might be destroyed. Yeah, this is actually destroyed. So I need to get another one. Okay, well, we will do that as our next thing, but for now, we're just gonna go ahead and try and get this back on there. And then I'll order another one, take this off, put that on, and we should be set. So that it lines up with what's up top. And then this can hopefully get closer back together before I prep and weld. I just want to make sure it lines up. Go a little bit higher. There we go. Broke right on the same weld as before, which doesn't look like it went all the way through, but definitely penetrated it, so that's where it's supposed to be. So let's clean up everything, wipe it down, tack it, weld it. All right, round two. Oh, there we go. Much better. Cool. I mean, not much better. It's a little better. Still got a little ways to go. All right, so we got the fit up looking pretty decent. Let's see if we can get in there a little closer. Ooh. Focus. Talking to myself here because it's just me. Yeah, so we got the fit up decent right there. So we're just gonna basically hold it, push it in place, tack it. I don't have any magnets or anything to hold it really in place, so, but it looks pretty straightforward. Yeah, let's get to it, shall we? So, because I am no experienced welder, got all my supplies and everything, but we'll definitely be measuring it to figure out what gauge it is, all those doodads, to figure out what heat we need to set it to, all the things, so. 3/16? That's what it looks like, right? Yeah, 3/16. Need to hold on to it a little longer, but otherwise, all right. Nice! Nice and solid again. We're back on here. I can see the crack that's right here. But it looks like the main part of it is corrected, which is great. Backside has a little bit of a crack still, so I know we beefed up the bottom, I know we beefed up the top, so here's hoping that this will just hold itself together and we won't have to worry about it. But fixed, smooth, paint. Now that's all we need to do is just paint it real quick. Boop. All right, so we're just gonna make sure that all this is tight as well, as it should have been before, but whatever. Oh, that's so frustrating. Just literally kidding about that being what happens. That's pretty. Much better. So since essentially the welds seem like they went through and penetrated in the front, but they did not in the back. The back is just boogered up. So that's fine. We'll take this piece off and then we'll take the coilover out altogether. We just got to get, easiest way to take this off honestly is to put in, take the bolt off here that's set for the coilover itself. Just sit in this position. That's right here. Essentially right here, just sits in there. So it's hard to pry it out, but obviously we need to take these off too. Bolts up top, so we'll take those off first, push it down just to move it a little bit. But the biggest thing is when you go to work on this and you want to separate this from the, I guess the position it's in or whatever spot, use the threaded side. The bolt usually goes in the other way, but I mean, I guess you can put it in either way. But I put it in this way, and then I put 2 decent sized washers in between the crack that's back here. So crack right here. So we'll just slide these in this crack, and you won't push it all the way to where the bolt will go through. I don't think the bolt can actually fit through this anyway, but you're just going to tighten the bolt and it's going to separate and split this collar a little bit. So that way it'll allow you to move the coilover around. So yeah, let's get to it, shall we? So we'll just put it in between. Oh, shoot. Usually you don't have to torque this or do anything crazy with it, you just don't have to wash it to fall. And then you can already basically feel that it's coming out. You can see that there's separation right there. So there's some slight separation right there just because of what we're doing to allow it to move out. So, and now we can see it's really far down in comparison. So I think we're okay for splitting at this point. Now we just need to take the top one off and we should be set, but we might be able to, might be easier just to leave it in and not take it all the way out and then just correct this as it is. So maybe we'll do that. We'll start with that at least. More grinding. Right. This has got to get fixed today, so. See what I'm referencing for the backside, assuming you can see this, booger welds, because you can't see anything back there. So that's, I wanted to see if it would work, but it looks like it didn't even get anywhere in the center where I wanted it to, where all the meat and cabittles are. So we will basically, now that we can rotate the coilover, put this back on exactly how it was, and then we'll weld it from both angles, front and from back. But first we'll clean this up to get rid of all this nonsense that's on the back of it. I'm gonna take this over to the vise so we can get that off. All right, cool. So we have the piece. We've re-ground it down so it doesn't have the booger welds all over it. It's nice and flat on there and on here. So now, stuff out of the way, we should be able to simply place it on where it was, and then it should just sit pretty flush right there with where it was at before. Oh, hang on. Where was the lineup for it? So we'll hold it in place, and then we'll tack it in. There we go. And then we'll hold it in place, tack it in, and then, yeah, we'll get it in place, and then we'll weld it all the way around. Make sure there's no issues there, and go from that standpoint. Okay. Oh, hopefully this doesn't break again. Because otherwise, we're out of ideas. So, the weld itself, that's the front. The back is basically the same, but this is the spot I'm not really concerned with. It's more this side. It's like a diagonal cut that kind of breaks. So if that breaks again, or this bends again, then we'll just have to take this to someone else who can professionally weld. But yeah, here we are, trying everything for the first time. Okay, cool. So, couldn't get it welded myself. Didn't seem like I had enough heat penetration through it, so I took it to a friend to TIG weld it for me. So we'll see if this does any better. He TIG welded it last time and everything was okay, so hopefully it will work out for what we're looking for now. But yeah, put it back together, slap it all back on. Still need to get a new end link eventually because this boot is just ripped to shreds, but otherwise, yeah. Let's throw this back together. All right, we got it back on. So now it's time to put the wheel back on, put it back on the ground, and get it going. So finally back on the ground, and that's it for this week's video. So stick around for the next one. We'll hopefully be driving. I'm gonna go to a meet this weekend, just enjoy everybody's company. Hopefully everybody enjoys the car. But yeah, other than that, we'll catch you in the next week's video. Peace.